The first thing they did was hand me a fake citation. The second thing they did was threaten to tow my truck. The third mistake, they never bothered to check who actually owned the land they were standing on. My name is Daniel Carter, and I own nearly 4,000 acres of ranch land in central Texas. My family has worked this property for 3 generations. Every fence post, every cattle trail, every creek crossing has a story behind it. So when I drove through my own front gate one Tuesday morning and found 3 men in matching security uniforms blocking my road, I honestly thought they were lost. One of them stepped forward holding a clipboard. "Sir, this is now a restricted HOA enforcement zone. You'll need to pay a road access fine before entering." I laughed, not because it was funny, because I thought it had to be a joke. I asked him, "Do you know where you are?" He pointed toward a brand-new subdivision almost half a mile away. The Cedar Ridge Homeowners Association now oversees this area. I looked behind him. There were bright orange cones sitting on my gravel road. My gravel road. They had even installed a cheap plastic sign that read, HOA Patrol Checkpoint. On private ranch property, I asked one simple question. "Can I see your authorization?" The man proudly pulled out laminated paperwork. It looked official from a distance, until I noticed something missing. There wasn't a single county seal, no survey, no recorded easement, nothing, just HOA letterhead. Then another patrol member walked over and started writing me a citation. Reason? Unauthorized vehicle access. To my own ranch. At that point, I realized they weren't joking. They actually believed the HOA had authority over my property. What they didn't know was that I'd spent nearly 20 years working in commercial real estate before taking over the family ranch. Reading land records wasn't difficult for me. It was practically second nature. I calmly asked which property they believed belonged to the HOA. One of them unfolded a subdivision map. The map stopped nearly half a mile short of my fence. They had simply assumed the gravel road connected to their development. Apparently, some residents had been using my ranch road as a shortcut to avoid highway traffic. Instead of asking permission, the HOA decided to take control. Without buying it, without leasing it, without even contacting me, they printed fake enforcement notices, hired a private security company, and started collecting fines from anyone driving across land they didn't own. Unfortunately for them, the first actual owner they stopped happened to be me. I smiled, told them not to move, and made one phone call. Not to the sheriff. Not yet. I called the county survey office. Within 30 minutes, a county survey technician arrived carrying certified property maps. He compared the GPS coordinates, measured the boundary markers, checked the recorded deeds, then looked directly at the HOA patrol supervisor. "You gentlemen are standing almost 2,300 feet outside HOA property." The supervisor's face immediately changed, but the subdivision developer said. The surveyor interrupted him. "I don't care what someone said. The county records are what matter." Silence. Absolute silence. Then I walked over to the fake checkpoint sign, pulled it out of the ground, and laid it in the back of my truck. Nobody stopped me, because they couldn't. The security company supervisor quietly asked if they should leave. The surveyor answered before I could. I'd recommend it. Fast. Within minutes, every cone, every temporary barrier, every fake warning sign was gone. I figured that was the end of it. I was wrong, because 2 days later, several ranch neighbors stopped by asking why they had received HOA violation notices in the mail. The HOA had apparently mailed dozens of fake citations demanding payment for unauthorized road usage. Some people had already paid hundreds of dollars to avoid legal trouble. That changed everything. Now this wasn't just trespassing. This looked a lot like fraud. I contacted an attorney. Together we gathered every fake citation, every photograph of the checkpoint, every security contract, and every recorded property map. Then we sent one letter to the HOA board. They had 48 hours to explain themselves. Instead, their attorney called asking if we could resolve the misunderstanding privately. I declined. A week later, the county opened an official investigation. The security company admitted they had been hired using inaccurate maps supplied by the HOA. The developer denied responsibility. The HOA president blamed a committee. Everyone blamed someone else. The county didn't care. Records don't argue. Property lines don't have opinions. Ownership is ownership. By the end of the investigation, the HOA was ordered to stop all enforcement outside subdivision boundaries immediately. Residents who had paid fake fines received refunds. The security contract was canceled. The fake patrol program disappeared overnight. As for me, I installed one permanent sign at the ranch entrance. It reads, "Private Ranch. Property lines are enforced by county records, not HOA opinions." People driving by smile every time they read it. And every once in a while, someone asks if the story behind the sign is true. I simply nod, because sometimes the biggest mistake an HOA can make is assuming paperwork is more powerful than a property deed. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments, where are you watching from?